A new season dawns upon us here as we return back to Pensacola Superspeedway for the beginning of Season 6. This is Free Practice 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. After a 2-month hiatus, the cars are fired up, they're ready to get back on track, and we're ready to get back to racing. But as we jump into this season, so much has happened within this off-season, so much juggling of positions and rides. We got 6 new rookies this season. Well, rookies, I say, because every single one of them come from the Panasonic Light Series. One of them has made appearances in Elites before. Part-time and replacement, that's Ryan Griffin, making his first full-time start. As you can see, all the cars coming out on track right now, as lots of people very excited to finally get the season underway in what has been one of our longest off seasons. Sorry about that slight interruption, but everyone is getting really hyped to get ready to go racing once again. But we got to start somewhere, and that will be free practice here at Pensacola Superspeedway, where everyone out here will get a chance to test their cars out on track, whether it be some people in new rides, a lot of people in old rides, and everywhere in between. As we have an RI right now on Dak Jovic and Roger Ray, I believe the first two out on track. Dak Jovic moving to Scott Ganassi Racing this season. After that team just moved down to B, after the bad luck in the last few races of last season, they ended up in rank B, but they have Dak Jovic on their side this time, which a lot of people have some speculations on how Dak Jovic's going to do with his age. He's the oldest driver in the field still, and he's still looking for his first career win. Duncan coming out on track now. There's Roger Ray, which is Jovic's teammate, actually. Roger Ray also for Scott Ganassi Racing in that DOW number 08 car. Ray was a very, very big contender in the Panasonic Light Series Championship in their first season, and he's out here today making what will be his 3rd full-time season, if I'm correct. Here in the Elites, his first 2 under Sabasport did not go well, but the moment he got a little more experience down in Lights, he seems to have a lot more potential lately. There's Duncan. Moved from the 66 to the 4 this season, but will stay in the same race car, Cleverhouse Racing Saya machine. William Duncan still looking for that second career win after his first one came all the way back in Season 1 under Trailblazer. Bowers still with Fitzwater Australia. There's Fitzwater in a new blue number 59. Connor Monaco, one of the rookies out on track, taking Vince Freese's place of that team after Vince Freese moved up. Connor Monaco, the 3rd brother in the Monaco brothers. Ryan is retired to take up Monaco Dynasty Racing, which is on the grid in Elites. By the way, we have 2 new teams this season. We'll discuss them in a second. But Connor Monaco out on the grid now, trying to live up to what his brothers have done in their careers. But let's talk about the 2 new teams. We're talking about Fallout Racing, which there's one of the Fallout Racing cars right there, the number 36, with PJ Karenko returning back after his hiatus. Last time he appeared was back in Season 3 under Trailblazer Motorsports. Missed Season 4 and 5. He's back for Season 6. And lots of hopes actually going around for him. A lot of people very excited to see what PJ Karenko can do in his return. His teammate being the 63. Another returning face, Connor Hurley, who is registered as a rookie by the system, which is wrong. That'll have to be fixed before qualifying. Or in this case, the shootout, which he will be in. And then the other team, Monaco Dynasty Racing, which is the 3 of Daniel Bouchard, bringing Bouchard up from Lights with the team, and Steven Thompson in the 5. Thompson did not get very good luck finding a ride. A lot of people just did not want to risk him busting like he did at the first part of the last season, so he was stuck down at Monaco Dynasty. The Benyakos are here. Jack Benyako, and where is Alex? Alex Benyako in their first full-time seasons. Alex Benyako showed a ton of potential in the replacement drives for Aiden Shepard last season when he had his injury. So the Benyako cousins not brothers, cousins. A lot of hope for them. And there is the new Maverick Wolf Racing Honda Accord. That is the 87 of Alexander Rowe. Previously driving for what the team used to be, Maverick GP. With Dodge, now they're with Honda and a new team owner, but Rowe staying right where he was before. And it's the same with Jackson, although Jackson is a new scheme this season. Sticking with Peak, though. But we look at their new teammates, being the 80 of Philip Scott, the legend himself. And the other teammate, who are we thinking here? We're thinking... God, what am I... I'm forgetting someone. Hold on while I am just spazzing out, as usual. Yeah, Roman Rahal, duh. And Roman Rahal, after driving part-time for this team last season, he is now full-time this season in that number 83. We have a new charter system coming this season, as a lot of you may know. So that means some teams, as you see, are 4 cars and some are 2 cars. Maverick Wolf is a 4-car. Monarch is a 4-car. There's Curtis in a number 88, which is another Dunkin' Donuts car, like he was last season, but a new scheme. The 8 of Kieran Mulcher. The 58 of Jack Halleck. And then the obvious 28 of William Carlson Jr. But then you got 2-car teams. Ryan Griffin, who's in the pits right now, and Skylar Johnson make up Shock Allison Racing. Skylar Johnson not in a black scheme this season, in an orange and blue Kellogg scheme. And it was announced pretty early in the silly season last season. Trailblazer was a 2-car team, which is Benoit Ravine and Dan Bartlett. Bartlett coming back for his 2nd season, and he is probably the most anticipated driver in the field right now. Let's get your leaderboard up as we continue through free practice. It's a Fitzwater Australia 1-2 currently between Bowers and Fitzwater. Their other teammate, Nathan Ormond, seems to be lacking a little. 37th. Lots of people don't know what's going to happen with the driver of the 43. Not sure if he's going to absolutely bust or if he's going to work out. A lot of people seem to be leaning toward bust, but you never know. Rookies have surprised us in the past, so I would not doubt Nathan Ormond yet. There's Gatlin Downey. HHSR has announced that they will be shutting down after this season. They'll be shutting down after this season to move over to other sports. So this will be the last time you will see HHSR on the grid, which will be this season. Gatlin Downey, Laughter Stu Cole, and obviously Connor Monaco, who we saw earlier. There's Aiden Shepard. This is actually Aiden Shepard's first time in a rank A in his career. He's always stuck in rank B, although he has 5 wins to his name, and he's known as the Superspeedway King. He's never stuck in a rank A before, so a lot of people a little scared of what he can do. But out of the whole field, everyone's most scared of is that. Full Frontal Motorsports back in rank A this season as Brock's pulling out of the pits in 17th currently. But people are so frightened of this team because it is Brock, Max Anderson, and Cordell Paulson, which is 2 champions and the best on a win list. Not the greatest of all time. That would be Anderson. Oh wait, that's on the team too. So a lot of people scared of what Full Frontal could do this season, although there are a few people thinking that there will be other people rising up to the challenge, which the main culprit so far, their preseason testing, was Alexander Rowe, who was absolutely dominant in preseason testing. He was one of the quickest guys. He was the quickest guy in the whole field. No one can match the power of that Honda, and seeing Honda come back into the fray this strong has gotten people very excited for what the 87 can do. And even his teammates, the 10 especially, out of all the teammates, seeing what he can do. these two seem to be the two that a lot of people are looking at to take down Full Frontal Motorsports, who is branded as the biggest threat this season. So, lots of talk going around about that. Here's Vince Freeze for Roush Racing Enterprises. It's Roush and Shepard's new teammate after Ryan Monaco retired. Vince Freeze is the fan favorite this season. In a landslide vote, absolute landslide. Like, he had more votes than everyone else combined. Vince Freeze is definitely the favorite out here. He's the one everyone likes. And there are some people saying he's going to bust, but a lot of people saying he's going to try to go for it all. Keep your eye on Vince Freeze as this season goes on, as him and Paulson are pretty much out to dry right now. No real drop. After this event, we will be going to the non-charter shootout, where we will see all the non-charters in the field fight for the last qualifying spots, which will be 38 total spots in the race. Because you got to take into effect that we will be seeing some part-times, if I'm correct, join in, which they are not here right now, but part-timers are full of a few people that are pretty familiar with this league, and we'll talk about them when that time comes. But we talked about the other two on Scott Ganassi, but you can't forget these two. The staple that this team has had for the last, which this is their third season on this team, Arndt and Pericles. Pretty much a combo now. These two have been so good in their last seasons, even though they're now ranked B. Still a lot of hope for these two going forward after Arndt's huge breakout season last season at the end of the season before season 4. So very excited to see that. Let's talk about goodbye seasons, as we have a few retirements in the field, starting with the 41. This is Jeffrey Finguy for Clever House Racing, officially announcing this is his last season in a Haas Automation and Rockwell number 41 car, which may look familiar because this is the same scheme he ran in his very first season under this team. Jeffrey Finguy ran a Rockwell number 20 with this design back in season 1, and for the Goodbye Tour, he's being put back in the design with Haas Automation this season to finish out his career. You also got to talk about Laughter Stucol. With the team shutting down, she's leaving as well. Although there has been talks from that team that them leaving may only be temporary, but for now, it is going to be a thing, and they will be leaving after this season. So this is Laughter Stucol's goodbye season as well, along with the 95 of Vance Caldwell. Will be making his last season, as he sold the assets of his team to Thundersport. Will be driving one more season under that team, and then he will be leaving at the end of the season. So 3 retirements coming at the end of this season, but a lot of people still looking for good runs and a possible championship, which probably most of all includes this guy, William Duncan, who had the points lead going into the last race of last season, but lost it to Adam Vincent at the end, who, as many of you know, Adam Vincent not in the sport anymore. He has left the sport after last season, after his title. So there is no number 1 car in the field this season. First time ever we will not see a number 1 car in the field, which may cause more chaos, because everyone's going to be fighting for that number 1 car once again. But topping the charts right now, Scott Roush and Max Anderson. Roush for Roush Racing Enterprises, they are rank A this season, back in rank A after being out of it for 1 season. They have returned. But right now, the 3 rank A teams hold the top 3. It is Roush in first, Anderson in second, and Philip Scott in third, with a Fitzwater 4-5 now, and Jack Bignacco down in 6th for Red Stallion Racing. Red Stallion likes to win at season openers. They like to win at Superspeedways. It's what they do. So we'll see if Jack Bignacco could pull out a miracle, but he'll have to get through the shootout first. Pretty much we're just going to take all the non-charters, which the only non-charters in the field are all the rank Ds and all the part-timers. So we'll take them all, put them together, All the rank A's, B's, and C's are locked in, and all the rest will compete for the last 7 spots in the field. So we will see some full-time cars not make the field, so some of these people we may not see in the field. Especially with what I've seen with some of these part-timers, I fully expect a few full-timers not make it. Not only because there's not enough spots for all the full-timers, but because the part-timers are going to be part of this as well. But a lot of people really want to lock themselves in through that event, so everyone getting as much practice as they can. Gatlin Downey down in 8th right now. Very impressive. Duncan boosts himself up to 5th, as Carson Bowers will move up to 2nd here in the practice. As in previous seasons, free practice will decide the qualifying order. If someone like Jack Bignacco were to get knocked out in the shootout, even though he stands in 7th at the moment, if he were to get knocked out, then he would just be taken out of the order and everyone would be shifted up. Max Anderson will take the top here in free practice. If you win practice, you will go last in qualifying. This gives you a chance to look at everyone else, see how the runs are going, to figure out your lines, which means Anderson, Scott, and Roush are all the big 3 who are here looking for something good. Connor Hurley in 4th now. Very nice lap last time around. It was a 48.7. Still 2/10 off of Anderson's 48.5, which is the fastest lap of practice so far. We have about 3.5 minutes to go in free practice before the shootout will begin in just a bit. Yeah, a lot of people in this field still looking for career win number 1. That was a big thing of last season. That's a lot of people got their first career wins, but a lot of people still looking for it. Skylar Johnson, probably the biggest case of it as of now. Looking for her first career win, which we're still looking for the first female winner in Sunoco Elite Series. Skylar Johnson trying to be that number 1 to pull it off, and with her performance last season, that is very much possible. Shock Allison Racing looking very nice so far. They look nice at preseason testing. Don't seem to be too far up when it comes to the practice. Skylar Johnson 16th, and Griffin is dead last. There may be something wrong, Ryan Griffin. No, he's just not in a big draft right now. So if we stand, as we stand, Ryan Griffin would be the first up on track when we go in to single car qualifying, which as we've done that the last few seasons. Dak Jovic, Stephen Thompson, Lorenzo Log, Kieran Mulcher, that's the order they'd file in. But you want to be near the front in this session because you want to be able to get a good time, and you want to be able to go closer to the end of the session. Some people suffered last season because they didn't go late enough. Jackson ended up starting dead last here last season, if I'm correct. And I don't believe he got a good practice run, and that's probably why, because he didn't get too good of a setup because he didn't watch enough people really go for it. Jackson looking to avenge himself after that last season. Other impressive runs so far. Ray Hall's only in 15th, which I'm actually not too impressed with. Really expect Ray Hall to be more up there. There's been some shifting. So I see the 58, that's Jack Halleck. He's won here in the past. He knows how to win here. He's up into 4th place. Just ahead of Connor Hurley. Hurley, if he gets through the shootout, he's going to be high up in the order, which is going to be beautiful for him if he can actually get up high in the order when it comes to single car qualifying, so that he could actually get a lot of experience watching these others to make a good qualifying run. Last season's pole position winner, why I wasn't impressed with him so far, Roman Rahal. He was the qualifying winner, although he is not in a good draft right now. Him, Finn Guy, Ron, Angel, Bouchard, these people are not in a very good draft. This is a nice draft right here. Could give Griffin something. He's starting to boost his lap time. Could he get himself out of last here? Coming to 30 seconds to go. This will be the last lap they can make. Griffin's still down. But it looks like I think Anderson's got this session under lock to start his season off so well by locking together free practice. Anderson still hunting that career win number 10 as well with Brock, and he wants to get there first. This is a good way to do it. Although they're teammates now, they're still competing for that. I see Arndt has pushed his way into 4th. Winhelm's in 9th. Monaco's in 10th. It's Eric Monaco down in 10th. We are now under standby as everyone's finishing their laps now. And once we finish these laps, that will be the end of the session. But I think Anderson has it under lock. So Max Anderson, even if he doesn't, Hans Windhelm the second right at the end. Very good run at the end for Hans Windhelm. But will not dethrone the 40 as they come down to the line. They'll have to make it to the line before that timer runs out. They will. And Anderson will lock first in the session. Congratulations to Max Anderson. That is practice win, and he will be going last in qualifying. So that's going to be a huge advantage going forward. Let's go look at your practice results. And so Max Anderson will take practice here. He will be last to go in the qualifying session, which again is a huge advantage. Again, Connor Hurley registered as a rookie. That is not correct. Look down the order at some of the people who probably could have performed better. Roman Rahal down in 17th. Brock down in 27th. That's a little ugly. Jackson in 21st. Shepard in 20th. A lot of people did not get the result they wanted here early in the season. Bartlett in 32nd. Caldwell 38th. And Ryan Griffin down in dead last is not what he wants. He almost was able to catch back up to Stephen Thompson. But Ryan Griffin will guaranteed be going last. Yeah, he'll guaranteed be going last in it. How it will work for the part-timers, if you're wondering how the part-timers will line up. After the shootout is over, they will be running a quick qualifying lap themselves. That will tell us where they will line up against the others. So do not worry about that. That will get covered on where they will line up. But I do believe Ryan Griffin will be last, unless one of the part-timers is actually able to clock in below him. But congratulations to Max Anderson. And the next time we'll see him will be very, very late, right at the end of the qualifying session, where he'll be the last to go with Hans Windhelm, which is going to be interesting to see. Thundersport Racing Australia, it's not Thundersport GP anymore, Thundersport Racing Australia, in their first full start back again in this Sunoco League Series. They're second in free practice, so a lot of hopes for them. But next will be the non-charter shootout, which will be between all of the non-charters in the field to fight for the last spots in the field, besides the top 31 chartered cars. All the rank A through C, again, they are locked in to qualifying and into the race, so these guys will not have to worry. Everyone down to Connor Hurley is not locked in. Benyako is not locked in. Downey's not locked in. The other Benyakos, both Benyakos, obviously not locked in. Stukol's not locked in. A lot of people not locked in that they will have to lock in themselves. So next will be that race, which will decide who gets in and who's out. Qualifying for that will actually be decided by random draw because of the part-timers there. We actually have to do random draw there. So until then, guys, ciao.